and welcome with all my heart to our metaverse. Our metaverse is a beautiful community that comes together through loving kindness to celebrate what we have in common in our humanity, to grow our compassion together. And it's just a special treat to have you here. The first thing I'd like to do, because we're going to just get right into something tonight, is have us set an intention and motivation for being here. I'm going to explain that when Geshe Tashi, who just came and taught for us, was talking to me about what does intention and motivation do, my kind of summarized takeaway is that, whether we are aware of it or not, we have all this energy happening around us and from us. And when we set an intention and a motivation, it's like we take all that energy and we guide it someplace. And so by guiding it someplace, it feeds that more, and then we get more back from it. So I want to invite us to take a minute here and just set our intention for being here and our motivation for being here. And the intention is, what will I do while I'm here? The motivation is, why will I do that? So I will try to participate. I will listen. I will care and send love throughout this time to the others. What will I do? And then why? Whenever you're ready, just come on back with open eyes and I'll see that you're there. I would like to absolutely invite check-ins. I want to make sure that we bring them to 1 minute each. So they can be short check-ins, but it's kind of like, what have we done since the last time we got together? And what's been going on in your life? And I want to do these check-ins where it's just a share and everyone just replies with a thank you or a sound, a hand of, oh, wow, thanks for sharing or something. It's just a place for us to get out what's been happening with us. Would anybody like to go first?
Okay, I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
Got a lot going on with family. There's been two sets of, well, two grandparents passed away that were, older. So it wasn't, they almost made it to 100, but just a lot of feelings around that for, our family and for my husband. And so that's been working with things like that. And just learning how to be there, learning how to show up more for other people, to be there when they really need you. Because that's something that I think is really valuable to learn to do. So I'm learning to do that better, to show up when people really, like my husband really needed me when his grandfather was passing. And I was really doing my best to just really be there for him and to just put all my other things aside and just really be present with him during that time. So it was really good. Yeah, and just and for our children too, helping them understand and helping them feel safe even through deaths in the family and things like that. So it's just been a emotional time, but also good emotional learning and learning how to navigate all these different family things and emotions and different people. So yeah, I feel pretty good though. I've really been just trying to raise my consciousness and really kind of fly above all the negativity um, and just do my best to stay grounded. So that's kind of what I've been.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Auntie.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? When would you like to share?
Yeah, I'll do a quick share. It's good to see you all. And I was talking to Stacy before we got on, and I had a busy day, and I'm so glad I'm here. I was kind of back and forth, like, I don't know if I have the energy. And now that I'm here, it's like, oh,
Mm.
you know, when you don't really know it's what you need. So thank you. It's really good to see you all.
Mm.
I think my biggest share is that I applied for a master's program, and I really stretched really had to work through some, like, can I do this? What am I doing? I'm 55. Who the hell do I think I am? Going for a master's program that's going to take 3 to 4 years to finish. And I wasn't always great at school, and I don't know if I could do that. You know, there was a lot of that. And I did an exercise with my kids and their friends and some friends over the New Year's, where I had them write on the left side, which is 2024, things that they're proud of themselves for that year. And then on the right side, things that they're going to go outside of their comfort zone to do. And then I was like, well, I guess I better do the same. And mine was to apply for a master's program. And so I did it, and it was a lot of work, but I'm really proud of myself because I really pushed myself out of. It's really easy. I tried to talk myself out of this like 500 times. And so anyway, I'm also working with a business coach, and what's been helpful is he says when you put things together and present them, don't be attached to the outcome of what comes out of it. It's the energy that you put into it, that you put out there, that means a lot. And that's helped me too, because I was always, before I apply to things, I would talk myself out of it, because I'd say, I don't want to get rejected, or, you know, I don't want to fail or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it out there. And if I get in, great. If I don't, then I know I did it. So that's my share.
Thank you. Rachel, can you share?
Sure. So I had a win. My sister and I, she invited me to do this 40-day yoga journey with her. And we actually just wrapped that up this last week. And huge, kind of big milestones moving through it. And really feel very empowered and very sure of the direction I'm going to be going this year. And like Wendy, I want to push myself to actually apply for my master's next year, but I want to get going on it now. So to hear you say that is just like, yes, everything's flowing and it's so serendipitous, and showing up for these calls is so important, and it is really uplifting and filling my cup up too. And it is daunting though, like, can you put a little bit more on your plate, and can you manage it all? And I think for me it's seeing all of that, and embracing like how amazing life is, and who's going to show up for you to help out, and how it can all flow together. And yeah, so anyway, I finished the 40-day challenge, feel super pumped about that. The weather is finally breaking here in New York, so we had like almost 70 degrees last week, and I tell you, it's a huge difference going from 16 degrees to nearly 70. Your whole entire attitude and perspective on life changes just to feel a little bit of sunshine. Is I'm just so grateful for it. So spring is right around the corner, and we've got all the birds out, and I'm constantly taking walks through the village with the kiddos, and just feel really alive and vibrant right now. So planting a garden, and the kids are happy and healthy, and my husband started a new project with his company, so everybody's just like ramped up. Like, we have been in hibernation for the winter, and now we're like, let's go, let's bloom here. So that's what I got. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Stace, would you like to share?
Well, I already did when I first got on, just reviewing that I'm behind because I was sick, and now we have a puppy and I'm trying to figure out life when every 2 hours when it wakes up. Like, how do you, it makes me wonder how I survived when I was in Rachel's situation. But it's things are good now and I'm getting out there and I wrote down all my stuff I need to do and I just don't even know how I'm going to get it done, but I'll get there.
Welcome, puppies. What's your puppy's name?
Bowie.
Bowie. Welcome.
Where is the little guy?
He's with Scott because
Okay.
yeah, otherwise he'd be eating something. But he shouldn't be eating.
Hi, Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
Thanks for coming in. Would you like to do a 1-minute share?
No,
Okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. You can pass, but we did ask everybody to get some kind of trinket or figurine or stuffed animal or something because we're going to do kind of an experiential thing. And that thing, even it can be anything. I was just using whatever, but this is going to be something that is going to resemble little you that you're going to hold. So, yeah, on that note, go ahead. See if you can do that. I'll be talking a little bit in the beginning of this first, and then we'll go into an exercise with little us. I'm gonna do a check-in really quickly in that since we've seen each other last, I lost my boss who I love. Wow, it got me. I just loved him and he just loved me. And I thought I was the only one, but evidently there was 178 of us that felt the same. And to have everybody share and to have everybody know how he touched us was so special. I felt like, what is this need? What is this need that I have to hear that everybody else had an experience with too? And it was, I think that I wanted him to carry on somehow. And I knew I couldn't carry on him that big being of his, and to have all these people say how important he was and that they might carry on something from him was so beautiful. It was actually Caroline and I used to work at the same Coldwell Banker office with him as our manager together. And
she's not joking. He was amazing.
Mm.
You know, he was just had this wisdom and, you know, he just had this joyful, happy energy. It just, he was amazing. That's why this is just like incomprehensible. How is his wife? Is she still in the hospital or don't know?
The way that this happened was he was visiting his wife who was in palliative care after having colon cancer and fighting it for a few years and having 4 strokes and a heart attack. And as he went back to his car, he died. And he has 2 kids in college. And so we're not sure that the wife is still alive, but we heard that she wasn't, she was in a coma when the kids came anyway. So it was 6
Poor kids.
It was, yeah, it was, yeah. So we're trying to, anyways, so there was that. Real estate has been 3 listings and remodeling all 3 of them at the same time. And it's been absolutely busy beyond. And then today, 2 clients decided to show me that they're have another side to them. It's not so fun when it gets stressful. It was
That's
freaking
not, thank God you were learning compassion.
fun.
Yeah.
One of them was really, really, really mean and did some really stupid things. And instead of me going, wow, and then like wishing poorly for him, I just really, really wished that he just wasn't suffering mentally and something could relieve him beyond what I know. And could he please just be okay? And could the universe step in and help me and give him something right now? And wow, did it cause something in my body to stay in a more welcoming, this is all happening place than get it out of me. I never want to see you again, please.
Like, you're fired.
So it's been, yeah. I missed last year when I took the 6 months off, you guys, so bad. It was just so bad. Caroline, do you want to try to check in now that we've given you a second to breathe?
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
You know, it's like sometimes that's all we need to do is to stop and breathe, right? Is just take a breath, be thankful for the moment we have right now. I've got this beautiful view of blue sky mixed with, you know, gray clouds and raindrops on my window, you know, and my black cat sitting in the window and enjoying it too, you know. And so those are just simple moments of just, you know, precious, you know, energy that I'm just like, okay, you know, this is what it's all about. But I have to tell you that the last session when we had the monk, you know, come out, it's like, you know, the other day, I was actually helping at an open house on Saturday, and I had opened a sliding glass door, and a spider, you know, was like spun in. And normally I would have like smushed the spider, but now I see the spider as a sentient being, and I'm like blowing at it to blow it out the door. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm like seeing the world.
Wasn't it amazing to see what your own thoughts do?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I'm sure the people that were standing next to me talking to me were thinking, that lady's crazy. But that's okay. I saved a spider.
That maybe used to be your mother.
Exactly. Well, now I look at my cats totally differently too. And I'm like, so are you really my great grandmother? Or you
Yeah.
be my great grandfather, because you're kind of grumpy. You know? So that's what I wonder about Stacy's dog. So which famous ancestor in her family
Yes.
is this watching out for her
Yes.
family?
Oh,
Mhm.
true, Stace.
Mm-hmm.
Good thought.
Oh my gosh.
I think about
It's
that
so
one for
good to
Belly.
see you all. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about I watched a lot of Ram Dass lately, and Ram Dass says it's so weird. I just talk about myself and people want to hear it. But he talks about his experience and what he allowed to happen. And therefore, it gives them this permission kind of to allow something to happen that they might otherwise think that's a little goofy. So this might be one of those. And I'm going to just talk a little bit and hope I not choke up or something on this, because sharing your own experience is a little vulnerable. So tonight we're talking about taking care of the little me inside of us. And sometimes I wonder, like, if that feels scary to somebody, or what is that? What are they talking about? Or am I in touch with the little me, or do I judge that little me? So I'm going to share my experience and then walk us through one, and then we'll share together how it was. And if you wish, when we go into the meditation, because we're going to be doing a quite experiential one, you can turn your cameras off so that you can do whatever you feel like you want to do in holding this trinket that is like a symbol of yourself. Okay. So for some reason, and it's not totally clear, as I grew up, I had this sense a lot that I did not belong, and that it was my family that I did not belong in. And it was really hard. And so I tried to adopt my Auntie Diane's family. She always wanted a daughter. She had all boys. And so it was like, I'm your girl. And so I was her goddaughter. She gave me this necklace and I wear it always. She's no longer with us. And she made me feel so special. She made me always feel included, which my family did not. It was always, this is just something for whoever it was, but it wasn't me that was part of it. And what it did was it caused me to feel like a burden to people. so that it was constant enough to where when I went into other people's families at their house or did something, it was like, it's okay, I'll stay out of the way. Or I think just I was very loud, and I don't know what that loudness came from, but I think that I needed to be loud to be seen in my family, maybe. And so it was this attempt to try, like, hello, I'm here. And later on, when I grew up and I kind of started joining teams or other things, that same underlying feeling carried forward. So I have some notes with this, you guys, because if I just sat there, you'd be just handing me Kleenexes the whole time. So I'm going to read a lot of my notes. I acted as if I knew I didn't belong there. And I was sorry that I was in the way of the team or of the club or of the whatever it was that I was trying again and again to be a part of. And as I thought about it, I thought, wow, behaving as and identifying as and seeing myself as the one that doesn't belong. And then having a coach try to come on, and there was just this default in me. They must have been pretty confused of why is this little girl I'm trying to make belong not belonging, right? And I'm looking back and thankful for all of their attempts, but I was convinced. And so I knew that I tried to figure out, where did this come from? Where did this come from? And a lot of times, as a parent, we try to say, if you do this, then I'll see you as a good person. Or if you do that, then you'll be a good girl, right? Or to us, when we are the child, if you do this, then I will love you. If you do this, I will spend time with you. And what my mom was really good at was saying, if you go clean the room, organize your stuff, do whatever it is, I might have time to be with you. And so I would do it to a T, so there wasn't any issue. And then she would say, I said might, and she would not have time. And it hurt. And I tried so hard. And it reinforced that I didn't belong. And then my brother would come around and he would get something without even having to try. Or he would get her attention just naturally. Oh, look, blah, blah, blah. Here he is. And I couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't figure it out, other than I must truly not belong. I remember, actually, this not in my note, but I remember reading The Catcher in the Rye, and I haven't touched that book since high school because there was somebody in there that I identified with so much that I couldn't read it. I think his name was Holden, and I don't even know what his role was.
He's one of the main characters.
I think I need to read that book again and kind of face the fiddler here a little bit. So it was a very lonely position. And so I created a little closet office in my room. And I had a kind of a big room, a big closet. And so I put a little shelf in it, and I had my little like tomato can cups where I'd put pens in them, and I would have my little place to draw, and I would put the things on the wall, and it was like I created this little place where I belonged. And what happened later on in life, I moved out of the house and I started getting different jobs and joining different groups of people. And I still did not feel like I belonged. And when I got married, our family would go someplace and I would have this oh, do you want to go without me? And it was to them who loved me so much that they were like, what is this? Right? So I started seeing this beautiful therapist named Sebastian Becca out of Santa Cruz. And Sebastian said, I want you to get an animal or something that resembles yourself. And I've talked about her before. And this is Nichita. So Nisi, little Nisi in Spanish is Nichita. And then cheetah is a cheetah. And I have freckles like cheetah does. And so he said, I want you to take her with you. And I want you to let her know she belongs. And so I took my little Nichita and I took her on trips with me. And I put her in my suitcase. And she slept in bed with me. And she stayed close to me. And I had this message to her to say, you are somebody whose needs matter. And I'm going to let you know that and feel that until you are convinced of it. And it took me probably like 6 months, maybe a year of carrying little Nichita around before the little Nichita inside of me started knowing that she mattered and that she belonged and that she was supposed to go places and see people and share and be part of their family and be with them. And as I thought about this more, I'm wondering if I should do the experience first or if I should tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. What I believe happened is the non-Nichita victim of non-belonging became the nurturer of the non-belonging, and it healed the person that didn't belong. And it's so much more calm inside of my body now after doing that exercise, to where even I realized that like Nichita had these needs that I didn't even know until I was looking at her from a different role. And ironically, some of them were to be quiet, to just have some quiet time. But to be together in quiet time. And so with that little share of mine, I'd like to lead us in a meditation where we try to ask the little me inside of us what it might need or what might it not have gotten that it still would love to have. Okay? So I do want to mention that Carrie and Reefy were so incredible. They would put her in my bed. They would put her in my suitcase. They would put a blanket over her. They would do all these things and it was so much easier for me to watch them love her, to be convinced that they love me. It was so neat. It was really neat. So I also thought, like, where would something like that come from? I know my mom didn't mean that. And I know I went places with her and it was like, where did it come from? And they tell us that, when we become verbal, that's where most of our memories are easy accessed. But before verbal, pre-verbal, it's harder to access those memories for some reason. And the one thing that felt, after listening to Gabor Mate, thanks to Auntie Marie Rittenhouse, I love Gabor Mate. He has this work that for his own self, that he went back to the first year of his life and what he experienced, I think it was in Auschwitz. And while we go, oh, come on, you can't even remember it. The fact that he was willing to go there allowed me, what if this meant something? And what I know is I was born on December 23rd. My mom was a teacher, and she went back to school when the vacation was over. And actually, Wendy's mom, Auntie Cece, took care of me. And I think when your main caregiver, mother, goes for the majority of the day again and again when you are that small, it must have an effect. Even though it wasn't intended, of course. And she's probably trying to be financially responsible. So it allowed this, what if I don't need to know where it came from necessarily? What if I just need to know that there's this little me inside of me that's got some needs? And now I've got this ability to see her outside of me, to say she's real, she's here, and I'm going to take care of her. And I'm never going to let her down. Okay? So I'd like to invite you to get comfortable. We're going to do a little bit of breathing. We're going to do it a meditative posture. We're going to have our smart spine, our straight spine. And I'm going to invite us to start off with, we're going to do 3 rounds of 3 breaths. I got it in, Caroline. We're going to do 3 rounds of 3 breaths, but the first round of 3 breaths, we have no guidance on them. We're just going to take 3 short breaths, or 3, slow breaths. Okay. You might feel your body begin to relax. And then when you're done with those, I invite you to take 3 more breaths now, focusing on long, short breaths and noticing that, long, thank you, slow breaths, long, slow breaths, focusing on the idea that the third one will potentially be much longer than the first one. When we breathe slowly, we send a message to our body that we are okay. It's an okay state when our breath is moving calmly and slowly. So now as you take your third set of 3, think of that. I'm telling my body that it's okay. I'm allowing it space to breathe. My mind also feels like it's okay with this breath. Slow, calm breath. And then when you're ready, I invite you to gently reflect with your eyes closed or open, as you like to meditate the best, on when you were a child, what you felt you wished you could have had that you may not have had. So think about when you were 5, maybe, or 8, maybe, or 12, whichever age happens to come up for you. And then think about what you wished you might have had or had more of? Maybe you wished people listened to you more. Maybe you wished people spoke to you in a better tone, maybe. Maybe you wish people had more time for you. Take a few minutes here and just think about for you. Could you used a little bit more of? Now, if you had gotten a figurine or a trinket or something, I'd like you to hold it in your hand, please. I want you to just hold it in the most caring way. Maybe you're gonna give it a hand hug where you hold both sides of it. Or maybe you're gonna gently have it in an open palm, whatever is for you, something that feels really nurturing to hold this figurine, this little you. Mm. I'd like you to invite that little you into your thoughts and to let that little you that you are holding know that you see that she, since we're all women here, that she has some very important needs. And that those needs have always been important. Even if they haven't necessarily gotten the attention they needed. Let her know that you now see that those needs have always been important. And that it's important for her to have those needs met. And that you are going to help her make that happen. You might want to start with just one need if you have a few. It's one of these needs that this beautiful little version of you has. And let this little version of you know that you will take care of her. That you will do what you can do to help her meet those needs and get them fulfilled. Remind her how important they are again, and that you are here to help. And hold that little version of you very tenderly. Lots of nurturing. Lots of acceptance, and I see you now. Imagine yourself giving that little you what she needs. Do it with the utmost love and gentleness and care. You might sway a little bit or rock a little bit with this little you. Breathe in the love of the whole world. And breathe out nurturing for this little you that you hold right now. Feel the coming together of little you and big you. Feel this relationship transform. And let that little you know that you will be here and that you will help fulfill her needs. And that you love her. And I invite you to take one big breath and decide how you would like to carry this forward. This moment right now. This moment that says that the needs that need to be fulfilled will be paid attention to and will be cared for. You might want to make a commitment to little you and let her know that this won't stop. That you are together for life. And that you will show up for this relationship and care. When you're ready, take a few caring, sensitive, very gentle breaths. And when you feel comfortable, open your eyes. Mm. I'm going to turn the recording off for sharing now. Thank you, everybody, for your beautiful shares with that. I really appreciate hearing from us all, from our different perspectives and our commonness within it. As always, I would like to ask for forgiveness for any part of what we did tonight. If it felt uncomfortable, or if it didn't resonate, or if for some reason it was just not there for you, please, please forgive me. That was not my intention. If there's any part of what you shared that you feel like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or that wasn't right, or I wasn't, please, please, please hold your big and little girl together and forgive them. Whoever's watching this, the reason I'm saying girls, because we are all females in this here right now. But if you are doing this exercise, please forgive me for not saying both he and she, or him and her, because in our metaverse, everyone is included. And I would like to offer the merit that we created together in this time to share and dig a little bit and see what might be in there, to the people who might not know how to care for their little person, to the people whose little person is screaming for attention and has some real needs that aren't being met. May the merit that we get from trying to understand and trying to not be so volatile in our emotions, may that merit immediately go to them so that they feel support to help give their little self what it needs. May they be nurtured. May they be loved. May they be held in compassion. And may all wars end immediately. Thank you, everybody.